side can't survive. Right? So that's the fucking hardest, scariest, baddest version, which is probably the most successful. Australia version. Killed all the indigenous population. No racism, no fighting.
That's pretty extreme.
Exactly, right?
Come on.
What's up, guys? Who Hit You Podcast? And big week. I'm Vidush.
I'm Roy.
And I'm sorry I'm messing it up because I'm freaked out. I'm just shook up.
It's been a wild week. A lot happened. A lot going on.
Someone tried to take America over.
Like
Trumpito tried to take America over.
That
happened.
So crazy, and hands down, the whitest shit I've ever seen in my life.
That's a good way to say it.
This is the whitest shit I've ever seen in my life.
You know, because when I first saw it, honestly, I thought that, and I try to not make it about race most of the time, because I just feel like it hurts an argument when you bring race in. Like, it makes just some people tune out. But all I could see was like, man, this would... But it's even worse than that, because it's certain white people.
What do you mean, certain white people?
If this was PETA, and it was all white people, and they were arguing about animal rights... And they tried to bust in there. They would have gotten capped down. They would have gotten capped up, and none of them would have got in.
If this is anybody but the GOP, you're saying? Like, is this anybody but Republicans?
Yeah, and no, I'm saying that if this is anyone basically but the old South.
Where the real power's at? Where the Republicans?
Where the same belief hasn't changed, right?
The racists.
And like, I get, I like, it's not just, they've... When we won, there's something called the Mason line, the Sam Mason line during the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
Since then, they've been their own country, and we just acted like they haven't.
I mean, when you think about the South, it's like KKK, racism, cross burnings.
But they don't listen to the same news.
Hangings.
They don't have the same culture. Like, they don't get the same information.
Also very religious.
I don't even think that matters right here. And well, some of them think Trump is Jesus. So a little bit of that.
God sent. So, like, Trump's doing a rally that day.
That's a separate America to me. That's a separate America that we've always let be a separate America, because we never... Who gets to keep their flag after you take an L in the war?
The Confederate flag?
In Germany, you have to get the government's permission to get the Nazi flag to show it, even in school.
Well, I mean, obviously in Germany, it's like, you can't be flying that around for anything.
In our country, we fought them. How is that? They would have just killed all of us, and they had slaves.
And they put up monuments all over.
Right.
And...
So us taking the soft line then, taking the soft line now, is like they've always been separate. They've always been... They don't... And now, I don't believe they're as fervorous or as dangerous or as what they were back then. But if you listen to them, they don't hear any of the same shit that we hear.
I think it's a battle of, like... It's a culture war with them. It's like... It's two different realities. Two different beliefs. Two different ways of life. And they're fighting, and... They're fighting for an older way, their way. And
now, those racists you were talking about, yes, they are in that crew. That's where all of them are. That's where all of them are.
Yeah, I mean,
That's where all of them are.
For sure.
Yeah, not all of them are that, but all the racists are in there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's where they hang out. What? What?
That is where they hang out.
That's their spot.
That's where they're down.
That's where they go.
It's so bad when I see a video or a TikTok of... God, I fucking hate TikTok. But I see one of like the one black dude that was in the crowd, and the way
was the Chappelle that was
like that. All of the comedians, everybody, Tyrone Biggums. Oh my God, yeah, they're like, man, I haven't seen this shit since Chappelle show.
What was the Chappelle character? What's the Chappelle character where he's in the KKK? Tyrone Biggums is the guy that eats all the... He's like the crackhead,
he's
right?
the crackhead. Yeah, Clayton Bigsby is who you're talking
about.
Clayton Bigsby. The blind black KKK member.
That's such a hilarious skit.
This is the greatest skit of all time. That was his first episode. That's why I crushed Chappelle. But like, they're roasting those guys. But like that was happening. It's two Americas. Like the other America, black, white, whatever, couldn't do that. I mean, I saw the pictures of what it was like when Black Lives Matter went.
You know, the National Guards just like posted up there at the steps.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That picture that's circulating wasn't even at the Capitol. That was at the Lincoln Memorial.
That was really a line made just to keep them. You can specifically only be on the street. I don't want any of you spill into the edge or anything like that.
What gets me...
And they knew.
Yeah. What gets me... So, they're doing a rally. Trump's doing a rally. He's saying some wild shit.
He's doing the rally during the electoral college.
Yeah. Up until the electoral college, he's like talked a bunch to Mike Pence, and he's trying to get Mike Pence to basically like take the electoral college votes and say like, no, these don't count, and like do it again, something like that, something to that effect.
Right.
He basically, Mike Pence is supposed to have this ceremonial thing where he's just like, this person or this state, who did you vote for? This person, you know, it's just like it's no power.
But that's what he wants him to do. So let's just understand. He wants him to basically just say, I win, right?
He basically wanted them to say these election results or these electoral votes don't count because like the election wasn't, or there's something wrong with the election. Let's have another vote again.
That they proved his Ukrainian and Russian involvement? They proved it. And like he was still elected.
Oh, you mean
yeah,
okay? I see what you're saying.
Okay, like even if we go by his logic, he was still elected, and he sat there. He was impeached, and he still finished it up. Okay.
Well, what gets me is
this guy is the dude at an Olympic race who loses the race, and he gets to the first camera. He's like, "Dude, I won that race." Like everyone fucking saw you, and then you're like, "Okay, he's fucking insane." This guy's walking to the podium, putting the gold medal on, and he's like...
That's my medal.
He's like, hey, I'm first. And you're like, bro,
you lost.
We're like, it is over.
It's really crazy because up until this moment, you have Trump just straight up denial, I didn't lose. In his mind, I was winning, and then the whole idea of the ballot and the votes coming in just wasn't real.
Yeah.
And to him,
and
it's
he
like,
believes that.
He straight up believes that. Well, actually, you know what?
No, he may not even believe it, but he'll believe his lies. He'll believe his own lies.
Do you think so? Like, do you actually think that he believes that he didn't win, or is he just like that's what he's going with?
No, I think he don't know how to lose. He don't know how to. He's a billionaire. He doesn't know how to people to say no to him.
I mean, the way he talks about it is just so.
Sometimes he believes it. Okay, so there's like insider reports from his people. He knows he lost the election, but he's pissed about how they fucked him with the Russia stuff, so he wants to mess it up. But as that time goes and he keeps saying, I didn't lose, yeah, he believes he didn't lose.
But does he believe he lost because they did some shit and made me lose?
Yes.
Not, I lost because they voted for the other guy.
Both. Bro, he's crazy. He's crazy, dude. He believes both. Like, because he's crazy because he's willing to lie, and he's willing to not go back on a lie to his grave, basically. He's willing to lie to his death.
He can't admit that he was wrong.
Which in turn...
Or that he lost, or he did bad.
Which in turn becomes his reality then. Then he's like, no, that's true. That's why he's like, you heard him on that Georgia Senate call. Well, what'd you hear? Did you hear about them dumping ballots at this place or that? Like...
He straight up says,
right, like he's like, did you hear about that? Oh, yeah, and then he does this.
All I need is like 11,000, whatever. So he's been denying this whole time, and then there's,
dude, and I have never been this against Trump until now. Like I've always tried to talk okay.
Like coming down the escalator, I was like, nah.
But this is fucking bad.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Trump is going to get remembered for. You incited a coup attempt.
You attempted a coup.
You tried to take the Capitol, and you fucked it up.
For anyone who says it wasn't a coup attempt, I would ask, what if those people got in there while Congress was there? What do they think would have happened?
They would have killed somebody.
They would have grabbed them by their throats. Those are 80-year-old men.
And women.
Okay? Like 80-year-old men and women. Frail old motherfuckers. They would have grabbed them by the throats and said, vote this way. And you know what they would have done? They would have voted that way. And they would have killed someone, you're right. They would have for sure killed someone.
I mean, there's like videos and pictures of...
If they killed a cop,
There's 5 there total, right? 4 civilians and 1 cop.
4 of them is basically their side, and then 1 is the cop.
In this...
Which means they beat him to death. Because he fought his fucking injuries.
So 4 of the rioters were dead, and then I actually saw a video on TikTok about the about the police officer. He was actually beaten to death with a fire extinguisher. The one Capitol police officer that died. They beat him to death with a fire extinguisher.
Dang. Because he was probably like, hey, don't go, come over here, and then just like...
He held his ground and no one backed him
I keep it real, and then just fucking...
Or he just said, if he didn't shoot anyone, they just fucking jumped him.
Here's the thing. So let's back up a little bit. So then,
and the thing is, the cops weren't as trigger happy as they normally were because they got orders from up top to be, hey. Because the thing is,
you think they got orders from up top?
Absolutely they did. There's no way you could have walked up without hearing from a commander-in-chief, hey, stand back, stand down, I don't want any violence. So now all these people are back up and chilling. Now, there's plenty of those guys that are Trump supporters in the police, and those are seen because we've seen the video of them opening the gates. Now, that is a different story. But those aren't the only cops that were there. Like, the cop that died, he was told to chill out and, don't hurt anybody. Because if they killed him, he would have shot someone before they killed him. If he wasn't told that. He was trying to manage a mob.
How many people were there?
That picture was crazy. I have no idea how many people were there.
Let's back up a little bit. So, Trump is denying that he's lost.
Yes. At the rally, right?
Yeah. Politicians on the right are then, after all the court cases they lost and all the other bullshit, they get to this point and they're going to say, no, I don't, certify these. They're I want, and Ted Cruz, the, slimiest, shittiest. I can't believe he represents.
Those are the worst guys.
Those are the worst of the worst. They're basically
the ones who came back from that.
They're basically saying we're not gonna follow democracy and we're gonna oppose this election results. Rallies going on, Trump's being Trump, gets the crowd all hot and rowdy, sends them to the Capitol.
Well, he's literally there, and he's like, "Hey, you need to go cheer our guys on that are fighting for good, and go to I don't remember the exact line, but he ramped him up and told him to go there right then."
See, and that to me, that's one of the craziest things. He's the government.
He told him to walk into the Capitol.
The government is using these people, this moment, this lie, to fundraise and to
Well, the Republican Party was.
Yes.
So that for the Georgia runoff, and what right?
Yeah, and they lost.
And yeah.
Which is crazy. It's surprising they lost. Yeah.
But that's America talking then. That's America talking. But they said there's $500 million went through Georgia since November 4th till the runoff. So that's why Republicans ran with the Trump lie, because they want people to pour in money and fight for this. And now what happened? Now that it's over,
dude, that was the craziest
they're
shit.
afraid to say that,
When did you... I started watching it, and they were already... walking around.
I was because everyone was telling me about it, and I was driving.
Ryan posted it, or one of my friends, Ryan, posted it, and that's when we were like, what the fuck's going on?
And the white boy Ryan was so angry.
Oh, man.
He's so angry. He's like, this is my people. He's so angry.
But what I love about Ryan, right away, he's like, these are terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
This is treason. He
was like, they don't understand. They're on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, but that's, to me, this is what Trump's going to be remembered for.
But
treason.
Who are all the people that you're saying? So Ted Cruz, you had names.
Was it Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley?
These are the ones who came out and voted no still.
Ted Cruz is leading one of the charges or leading one of he's one of the main voices where he's saying he wants to get 10 days or something like that to go back and look through the election and basically do an investigation and see hey, I want to see how this was all done.
What happened from November 4th to now?
60 plus court cases that they lost. Trying to go to court, all the way up to like the Supreme Court, like basically, and they're like, no, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
And then I think
Josh
Josh Hawley's another person.
Some of those, not some. If you read all of those cases, not one of them claimed fraud.
Yeah.
Like the actual cases, none of them said there was any fraud even because there was none on the table.
Rudy Giuliani would go up there and straight up say like, this isn't about fraud, and then walk out and be like, this was about fraud.
Right. No, and that's the problem. So I spent the night listening to conservatives who believe the other side because I'm just trying to understand, right?
I try to talk to as many people on the other side as well to try to understand, and they just it's hard to find a conversation and to get to a point where we're like, where do we start from?
I mean, I just got to a point where I'm just letting them vent, right? So they're super angry. But like I said, that's why I said there's two different Americas. They are not hearing the same thing as us. They don't get the same information.
No.
They get completely different information. And they completely distrust our information.
Let's also say though that this is the most extreme and the craziest voices that like we're hearing talking. Like a lot of these people probably believe the same, but like the people that are out there just straight up saying this, that's like the furthest right.
No, but yes, right, yeah. So we'll go like furthest right. What'd you call them? Oh, whole horns in the fucking Capitol.
Yeah. Man, bear, pig.
The worst picture in human
like
it's gonna be the worst picture in the last year.
That guy just got arrested today.
No, but like you said man, bear, pig, MAGA bear, pig.
Yeah.
Call him MAGA bear, pig. No, he
that
like that picture of
amazing.
Him. That's like so. The first day y'all were telling me, I thought it was funny. I thought it was bad, but I wasn't super upset. I woke up in the morning so angry with some American pride. Like a lot of it is stemming from that picture of man, bear, pig. The thing, like I will never get to walk in that building.
Yeah,
I'll never.
Sure. No, never. These what gets me is they.
And there's plenty of white people. Not even by. I'm just saying, like Americans don't get to. That's the government. It's supposed to be super secure, super safe, super sacred place.
Yeah, I mean this is.
And this dude is in there with a spear and tats and face paint, screaming freedom like he's William Wallace.
So here's the thing about that. This is what gets me, like. These people, like, are doing this coup attempt, trying to raid the Capitol, right? Me and you both know, and we've been in some scenarios like, if I'm gonna go do some shit like that, then like that's a line.
Right. Well, I know when I'm breaking the rules.
But that's
I know exactly.
Like I am storming the Capitol here, and like, the reason that it pisses me off is because these people don't actually fucking mean this because
that's so true because as these people are getting caught because they're so dumb they could have covered their face with
so that's the thing
you have once in your life you have an excuse to cover your face.
None of them are wearing masks
and none of them are because it's part of the cause. It's part of the political opinion on that side.
You can see everybody's face. They're not wearing masks. They're taking selfies. They're taking pictures. They're doing video. They're talking to CNN or all the journalists that are there, and they're just having a go. Hey, we're here. We're doing this, and like laughing. If it's me and you, and we're like, I'm going to storm the Capitol. I'm not there to have fun.
That's true. This isn't
some crazy
fucking
shit.
Business trip now. It's super serious. I didn't even think of that, Roy.
Yeah.
Like they're having a blast there. And those guys are having a blast there.
And to me,
you could make a big. This is a big point, Roy, because like Black Lives Matter. They can say like, hey, they're rioting, they're looting, they're burning stuff.
But they had a cause.
But hey, they weren't out there fucking having. Even when that's happened, they weren't having fun.
No, I mean,
like
in Black Lives Matter, there's like people protesting, and there's people like we're here for this because this was wrong, and then there's people just being stupid and crazy and breaking the law and rioting and looting, which is wrong.
Yeah.
But they're using this cause as like, this is why I'm doing this, but that's wrong.
Right.
Here, them storming the Capitol to like do this coup.
Dang, there's some
in the moment.
straight having fun.
Yeah, they're just.
That's crazy. I didn't even think
they're
of
just
that.
doing some hoodlum shit.
I just want to do hood rat shit with my friends.
Yeah, there is no.
They want to be black on the inside so bad.
They
Letarian Milton.
Yeah, they have no. There's no cause. There's no real there. There's no belief. They're just following some crazy guy that said to go do some crazy shit. They get there. They're the dog that chases a car, and then they got the car, and they bit the fucking car, and it's like, now what am I supposed to do?
Whoa! Yeah, I don't know what. No, man. So like I said, I listened to all these people all night. For real, I like listen to hours and hours and hours as I listened to as much information from regular people as I could. You could have a conversation with these people. These are people who didn't go storming, but they do agree with all the protesters, and they don't agree with the storming. You know, like you're gonna find very few people who can just straight up say they agree with busting the fucking doors down, right? But they're like, hey, they really don't believe any of the information. Like, they don't have any of the information.
They think they're patriots.
Well, because they're asking, they're like, hey, what do you expect us to do? Like, you did this to the election. Like, and I'm talking about the guys who didn't break the doors down. These are people who didn't even go to the Capitol. But this is how they feel. They're like, what do you expect us to do when you've just been lying to us all this? And he was like, it was your job to prove to us that the election was real, and you didn't even entertain one court case. You threw them all out. So in their mind,
I see.
You haven't even looked at the information. You threw it out.
They're saying like,
but the thing is, they don't even believe the other side's information. So you can't say, hey, they threw it out because of this. Or if you look at what they put up, it doesn't claim fraud. They won't believe you. But they also won't put their own work in to go do it.
But what do you think then? Like, if they were to go through all this,
because now also, if you listen to it, now they're against $2,000 stimulus.
That's crazy.
Now all of a sudden, all of them, I listen to it. They're against it. This is
the right.
No, this is the serious right. The serious right. Like it's not like, because there's plenty of right people that went left this time, right? But I lost my point on that one. But they don't think that you can just, if they don't believe CNN, they don't believe CNBC, they don't believe a state court that says, hey, I threw the...
Who do they believe? They only believe Trump.
That's the problem then. That's
so like,
the problem.
What do you have to show them where they're like, oh man, Trump lost?
That's the thing. I don't believe there's anything. What they really, really want, from everything I've seen, they want 5 Democrats, 5 Republicans to go through the cases and actually look at the evidence, not say they threw it out. They want them to look at the evidence and say, okay. And if they do that, they'll be okay. That's what they say. They just say no one has looked at the evidence. And it's true, but they haven't looked at the evidence. And the reason is because there's none, and that's why these cases were thrown out. And you can't make them understand that, dude. They don't get their information the same way.
To them, they're just getting thrown out because they're just like, we're not going to hear it.
And they have such identity politics that now they're against $2,000 stimulus. That's where I was going with this. Like, now they're like, oh, well, they're just printing money. They're going to put us all in debt. These guys don't have money in the market. They don't have money. Like,
yeah, they don't have like Wall Street portfolios, like all that bullshit.
So they just get dragged into identity because they already feel marginalized. Because they actually are marginalized. You think they're white. You think they're different than everybody else. You know, no one else thinks what they think. So the line is super fucking deep.
Here's a question for you. What do we do about it?
I think it could... I have one super bad answer.
What do you think we should do with it?
That would have been... you don't have one side can't survive. Right? So that's the fucking hardest, scariest, baddest version, which is probably the most successful. Australia version. Killed all the indigenous population, no racism, no fighting.
That's pretty extreme.
Exactly. Right? Too much. It's too much. So
I was thinking, like, do you just try to press charges?
right. That's why I was saying. Like, that's why I was saying worst case.
Do you call it treason?
That's the worst case. That's the worst it could be. But that's what I feel like they want. They want to go fight. But like I said, what I want, the best case, you fucking hit Trump with treason. You hit all his homies with treason.
That's what they did.
You
tried to do a coup. You stormed the Capitol. First time in American history that actual American people have stormed the Capitol.
Because now those people are also saying that's the most American thing they could have done.
They're wrong.
They're wrong.
They're wrong.
Right? But okay, so so like they try that, but I think you hang Trump.
Treason.
You hang Trump because he truly attempted treason. All this time I had nothing like, but you died this. You got to show anybody else who's going to try it. If it fails, what happens?
It's wrong.
I just feel like in the wake of this week, we need to clarify that hang Trump is in like a political sense, not in a.
No, I think he believed if treason's penalty is hanging by death. The most severe.
This is what you really think?
Yeah, I believe he deserves the death penalty through court by treason because he tried to take over. You know how I can prove this? If he won the election, Roy, when do you think we would have not had Trump? How long do you think he would have been there if he won it?
4 more years plus.
10, 15 years? 10, 15 years? You think you would have been able to unseat him if he would have won the election?
He's old, so he's not going to last 15 years.
Right, so 10 years. He would last the rest of his life.
Fair.
I think that, to answer your question, I think that...
Or his family takes over, becomes a monarch.
I mean, they're already
He wants a crown. That's what he wants.
He doesn't want to be president. He wants to be king.
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question, I think that what he did was a treasonous act. I think that it was like you're a traitor to the... You tried to take... and siege like American soil, the U.S. Capitol.
Let's be clear, Roy. You're a veteran. You've been in the military. So you know what the Constitution is, and you know what it is to defend the Constitution.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to ask you: what does he deserve from what he did?
It's treason.
It's treason. Treason's penalty is death.
You're an enemy of the state.
Why is Snowden not coming back? Because we'll kill him if he comes back.
Yeah.
And the last time someone was hung for treason was in 1952, and I'm pretty sure that's just because that was the
his
last
last
time
name
they
Trump?
were hung.
And here's the other thing.
We stopped hanging then.
Yeah. So we got to go back. We got to go back. There's someone has done something that is older than hanging in this country.
Yeah, committed treason.
Yeah. No. He tried to do a coup. That's never happened here.
Straight up, he tried to do a coup.
He tried to do it Banana Republic style.
Oh.
So Banana Republic, Roy.
What does that mean?
Okay. Banana Republic is what the CIA calls when they incite a revolt in South America.
Yeah.
Because all of the people take the guns and they go into Congress, and they say you have to leave, or we're gonna kill you. It's called a Banana Republic. That's all South America.
I thought people were just like, this is bananas, and we're a republic, so this is a banana republic.
No. Like BANAS.
And that's like even better.
A play on the clothing brand.
No.
God,
It's like a term for.
No, that's what he wanted. You think he would have cared if they were armed or not? No, that's what he wanted.
If he would have had his way, then that day they would have said no. And then they would have just kept going, and then he's gonna fight to change the election results, which is undemocratic, like at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then, if that didn't work, then if they would have taken the Capitol, the people trying to take the Capitol were yelling, "Hang Pence!" and they try to take down the American flag and hang the Trump flag.
Can you imagine if they were trying to hang the Obama flag? Just think about that.
Okay,
just
they
think
were
about
successful in removing the American flag. They threw it to the ground, and then they hung up the Trump flag.
So now that's a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
Now they don't want the American flag.
Yeah.
Now MAGA's so like I wasn't like if it was about race, if they were trying to hang an Obama flag, what goes down in there?
Get smoked.
All of them get smoked.
So
there's not a bullet left on a cop.
I think it's
He got no bullets. There's not a cop that has a bullet.
just unload.
Blah, 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 blah.
I think it's treason. I think it's
treason.
An act on to like. Excuse me. It's treason. He committed a criminal act. You incited a crowd. You're at fault for this.
Yes.
You have been lying to your people, and people followed your command word and it got out of control. It got out of hand. And then he was just
that's
kind
what
of
he
using
wanted.
it.
If we go back to when he tweeted, "Hey, go to January 6th thing and be wild." That it was like a command. It was, be wild! Exclamation mark. Oh well, what the fuck does that mean?
Do you think that something else happens?
Yes.
Clearly, it means wear some horns.
Paint your face.
Literally.
MAGA bear pig.
Return to your wild ancestors and storm the castle.
Oh my goodness. And they were ballsy as I can't imagine anyone else being that ballsy. He has his feet up on Pelosi's desk.
That is so
got his
fucking
hands up.
desperate.
He writes on her desk on a paper, "We will not be stopped." Damn! Leaves it on there, takes her mail.
Which is
There's
crazy.
a mass. That's a federal crime if you do it to me at my mailbox. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what kind of crime it is. Some sort of intergalactic death fucking wish. If you're gonna take it from a fucking the
Speaker of the
majority
House. Yeah.
Speaker of the House, you're gonna take her mail.
That guy that stole that podium. That
The
was also
federal
like a 200-year-old
marshals.
podium or something
The
like
federal marshals went and picked up the guy who
Yeah,
took
he's
her
already
mail.
been arrested.
Yeah,
the guy also who took the mail?
The guy who took the mail.
And the guy who took the podium
The
is a
podium.
Florida man who got arrested today.
Yeah, he got
They
arrested.
had all
But
those
listen to
guys
this.
like
the guy,
names, nicknames. This is where they're from.
No,
this
no,
is
no.
where
The
they work.
FBI was like, "This is not a joke. Actually, all of y'all are busted. Fuck Corona, huh?" I'm like, they were in there. No, so the federal marshals pick up this guy who stole the mail. He's not granted bond because I guess they just plan to release him. They're gonna they just plan to release him, so he's not even granted bond. But dude, that charge, because he told the federal marshal, "I'm prepared for a violent death."
What?
I mean,
What?
hey, federal marshals don't play, dude.
Yeah.
They don't play.
So that guy, of course, was from Arkansas.
Fuck
and
yeah, Arkansas.
Of course,
doing
Yeah.
what
you know,
the
dude.
state proud.
Those guys
What
like
do they say,
him.
Sui?
Guys like him are like Wakanda people. They got Arkansas they got incest straight sister right across his fucking inside his lip.
That guy has sister on his lip?
No, I'm
No,
just,
he's
no,
just joking.
relax, Roy. I was like,
Your partner's from Arkansas. You know her family.
We just went over this. I'm
I also
white,
know she
okay?
doesn't have sister on her lip.
no, but you know the guy that does in Arkansas,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you told me about the people where he's like, "I seen every kind of raccoon penis there is."
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I was
Ohio.
like-
No, Utah.
That means the guy's name is Utah.
And
Better. The
Oh.
story just got better.
We should have a whole separate segment
Yeah,
about
you can't
Utah.
trust anybody who collects raccoon penises.
No, fun
Yeah.
fact, it's the only mammal.
No,
land mammal.
remember, I debunked this
Oh, that's
last time we
true.
talked
Yeah,
about
he
it.
told me, and
Because I was like, this
believed
dude
it. That was
is
my
just
first-
coming up
This
with
guy's
a
been killing-
story
yeah.
to suck and break raccoon dicks.
Okay,
Like,
that's a little much.
that's what's happening.
No, he definitely just.
And
finds,
then he goes and steals Pelosi's mail.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
right?
I would not be. The only reason why Utah was not in that crowd that day was because he is so decrepit at this point that
can't
he
travel.
can't make it. Like his hands are so.
Kushaman went to him and he's like, "I'll be there for you in
Yeah, right.
spirit."
No, so that guy has 3 federal counts now. Like
What are they?
that.
It's good.
um,
See, so, and the reason why, like, okay, let's hear the counts first. Let's hear the counts
He's
because
from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Dang. They're also like...
oh, Clinton State.
Entering
that
and
old
remaining
Clinton
unrestricted
city.
grounds.
I hear that these guys are looking at 20 years prison.
At least, man. I mean,
I saw a video, our article,
Hey, man.
where there's a guy... I
You-
see,
Yeah, entering a restricted building, violent entry, disorderly conduct.
it's the same charges then with MAGA Bear Pig.
Yeah.
no,
His
they
nickname
did
is
not
Vidush.
charge him with stealing the mail.
I I would be willing to bet that he didn't make it out of the building, so it technically wasn't stealing, even though if I walk around with some HEB makeup in my purse, even if I don't leave the premises,
Oh, they're gonna
it's
walk
still
up on
stealing.
you.
He made it out of the building. He was escorted out, but not arrested. He was bragging about it on camera, holding up the.
Oh, they took the mail though. They were
made
like,
it-
hey,
They
we're
may
gonna
have just hit him with like the highest.
we
charges.
just not gonna let you. You can walk around with it. We're not gonna let you leave with it.
Right.
That is the whitest shit ever.
It
That
is.
is
It
the whitest
is the
shit
whitest
ever.
Go
shit
in there,
ever.
do some hood shit, and then like get escorted out by the. You going home now? Get on out of here. Get.
Did you see that? I mean, there was like a video of one of the police officers, like the full combat dude, holding the lady's hand as
down
they're
the
walking
stairs.
down the steps.
Also,
Like,
what
it's
the
just
fuck is that lady
ridiculous.
doing there?
Also, yeah, go home. There's that one woman who
Yeah.
made it in, and
What is
everyone was
that
like,
doing?
she doesn't
Dude,
even know what
how
she
did she
is.
march all the way up to there? You awake still?
Yeah.
This is 500 steps here. No, this is so they're helping people. Like you can see the lengths that will go when they don't want to hurt somebody. You know what I mean? The lengths that they will go to. Like I said, me and you have worked in bars. We understand how to control a crowd. We understand when we can't control the crowd and you have to make friends with the crowd. That's why, like, because I know all those cops aren't Trump supporters. I know all those cops aren't bad. I know, like, all those cops, I know plenty of those cops were scared.
For
Like,
sure.
Like, we don't have backup. I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, yeah, like, that's why I was
This
telling
is
you. I was
essentially
like,
your
if
president's people.
I'm like, if I'm alone and there's all these people and I can feel they can be dangerous, but they're not right now. I'm going to take the selfies. I'm going to chill you out. I'm going to be, hey. I mean, the only other answer is you start capping and you push them out, right? Otherwise, yeah. So I'm not going to blame everyone, but there's a difference when you open the gates. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
like
Just move out of the way.
Back to where I was saying I was woke up angry is because if I was anybody else, I'd be like, I can go fuck America. Like, I can get in there.
Do buildings
like-
really mean
like-
the same thing though?
It don't matters who's in there.
True.
It
They were
matters who's
yeah,
in
they
there.
were in there, yeah. So that makes a difference. Just taking the building doesn't mean taking the empty building doesn't mean anything.
No, yeah, like so, but like they were in there. Like that means I can get to them.
Yeah, it's like the who's who.
MAGA
like,
Bear Big can get into the room. I can get into the room if I want to do bad, and that was the biggest problem. I was like, we look fucking weak, we look bad, and this is like you actually can get in. Fucking Olympus Down was not a joke apparently. Like you just walk up with Koreans.
And we have now proven that walls don't work.
No, they
True.
just walk.
they're
those
just
videos
climbing
are
over,
ridiculous.
scaling walls.
And,
And
but if this was any other protest, I would have been like, man, you can never get to America's people because they would have just capped all of them.
really makes
fire
you,
hydrant
it makes
them
you
down,
like think about it. We spend $700 billion on defense, and
Trash,
And
trash.
our capital was just taken.
Swamp people can walk in and fucking get to our. Not until those 70-year-old, 80-year-old men, McConnell and Schumer and Lindsey or Graham, and had to be ushered out by security to safe locations, did they come back and realize the monster they made? Not all of them did, like you said, but some of them do. Like McConnell, he's like. His wife resigned from the. He's
Yeah,
like,
he
I
said
never want to speak to him again. Like, and I believe McConnell because he's got a fucking huge ego, right?
I think he's got a huge ego, but he's also like, you stormed the Capitol.
No, you tried to come for me.
Yeah, like you stormed the Capitol.
You know, there's
and
only a
broke-
couple. There's
he-
only a couple dudes in that room whose name matters. Pence and McConnell, Pelosi. Everybody else doesn't mean anything. So like he knows they came for him.
Yeah.
Because he said for a while that I'm gonna go with what the electoral
I
college
mean, they were
said.
screaming,
Like,
"Hang Pence." That's crazy.
dude, there was they had a 10-minute segment of fuck Black Lives Matter. And that's where I was like, what? See,
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
that has nothing to do with the election,
Not at all. No. They're just trying
and
to.
that's how race gets put back in it.
I mean, we gotta-
I don't know what to do. What do you think we should do?
I think we should. So there's two options. They are either impeaching or 25th Amendment.
They can't because too many people resigned from the cabinet.
So and I think they've already said they're going to try to
Betsy, dude. I want the smoke, dude. She's such a piece of shit.
just walk out the last week. Oh yeah, this is too much. Try to save what dignity I have left. Fuck that bitch. I think they're going to try to impeach him. I don't know if they have enough time to actually try to do that. It's definitely been enough.
I mean, if they were mad enough, they could do it overnight. They could do it in an hour. So they act like they don't have enough time. They can do these things immediately.
Well, I mean, they pushed the Supreme Court seat in 2 weeks, so
right.
They could get it done.
Right, and that was with opposition. That's something that has opposition. Let's talk how fast. So what? The last stimulus took 8 months to get done, right? Mm-hmm. The stimulus before that got passed so quick, people didn't even know there was money coming. It got done before the lockdown was complete. They said the lockdown was complete and stimulus was passed. They say, it takes a week to write the bill. They could do it immediately. And that one, they had ridiculous stuff in it. There were $600 unemployment, $1,200 checks for everybody, PPP loan, EIDL. You think they made that right then? No, they know what they're doing. It's just when they decide to do it. So if McConnell is actually mad, he can have him out.
I think to answer your question, I think that there needs to be some kind of consequences for Trump. There needs to be some kind of consequences for these senators that were in there trying to deny the results, like Ted
Yeah,
Cruz
because you said the one guy who we hate, who said it was Antifa. Who was that?
What was that, Matt Gaetz and some other these? Basically, it's one of the talking points now is that these weren't the people that were being peaceful were MAGA, and the people that were being violent were actually.
We can see their face.
Yeah.
This is not like the other ones.
I mean, it's ridiculous, but people like that they deserve some kind of repercussion for their actions.
Do you think there will be any?
No, but they deserve it. They deserve it. Tell us what you think.
No. So
okay.
So wait. Before you tell us what you think, Trump's banned on Twitter, much like one of our.
So one of the Oracle twins got suspended.
I have a 12-hour suspension only.
I think that's the last thing Trump had also.
From Twitter.
He had a 12-hour suspension
He's
before that.
You're in the Mile High Club.
Why?
Listen, because Ted Cruz sucks, okay? My goal every day in life, and it has been for about 5 years now, is to send one mean tweet to Ted Cruz a day. He's made it very easy. He's very dumb, and he likes to talk like he's not.
He is the worst.
It's crazy to me how bad he is.
He's awful.
Actually.
And so I like to bully him.
This guy talked so much shit. Trump talks so much shit.
Oh, he's such a cuckold, dude.
Yeah.
About your wife?
Everything.
Yeah.
He's trash. He's trash. I don't respect
And
him.
then he just immediately bends the knee?
Didn't Trump also say that his dad killed JFK or some shit like that?
Yeah, his dad, yeah. I
Man,
think Trump
Trump
was
is
also
an
doing that thing we're
amazing
talking
roaster.
about, like how he's the Zodiac killer and stuff. Like
Yeah.
Trump, he jumps on all those bandwagons when he's talking shit about people, and Ted Cruz is easy to talk shit about.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but there we go.
I was going to say, it's really easy to roast people when your roasting is not based in fact.
So
When
just
you
make it
just
whatever.
completely make up whatever you
Yeah,
want.
but
it
that
becomes very easy to do
shouldn't
that.
work. Because he tried that shit with Obama. People forget this. He wanted to run earlier than this, and Obama crushed him at the press secretary dinner so hard.
Oh yeah, that's what they
that
say.
he didn't even run then. He pulled all plans. So it can be smashed. It's just not, these old guys can't do it.
They don't got it.
They ain't got
swag.
They ain't got no swag. Like Obama smashed him with facts. He was like, well, because the first thing he said, well, I heard we have someone in the crowd who wants my job, who has a lot of experience. And then it was like, and Trump was cracking. He couldn't smile. He couldn't do. He makes that weird duck face. Yeah. Just and he didn't show up. So these guys don't have it. They're completely disconnected with every other human. They don't know how to talk shit. They don't know how to have fun. Trump knows how to do those things. He's a billionaire. He's on drugs. He's on mad speed. He could do that. Allegedly. What do they call it? Super coke for him? They say he's been on it for years, actually.
Super coke?
Yep.
They say, who's they?
His handlers. His own handlers. We can find. I bet you Audie could find it right now.
Handlers?
I bet you Audie could find it right now.
There's also
she can't use the internet. She's banned.
I can the internet. I can't use Twitter.
That's so funny. The Twitter ban was also crazy.
I'm glad that they did it. Facebook banned him. Like now Reddit. So Reddit took down.
Him and Alex Jones, baby.
So there's a. That's really sad. There's a subreddit.
Milo.
There's a subreddit called the Donald, and that's like a big one. That one's down.
Yeah,
They
the Trump is also
completely pulled
down.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all those subreddits are down.
Fuck that dude.
So in
Fuck
that, the
that dude.
reason in the, if you look in the messaging for Twitter, the reason they banned the subreddit on the Donald is because that there is a planned attack January 17th to arrive at the Capitol with weapons.
Yeah.
That is being coordinated in the Reddit.
Right. Yeah, I mean they have to.
So just
they
like
have to
this
shut it
January
down.
6th thing, like they knew that was going to happen.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that really scares me is that at least with that, we can see everything that's going on. We know what's happening. They're all just moving to another platform that we're not all
or whatever.
a part
It's
of.
called Parler.
No, Parler's already banned.
No, it's going.
Google pulled Parler. Pull it.
I also can't find anything about super
No, hold
cocaine
on.
for
I'll-
Donald Trump.
Okay,
Just for Donald Trump Jr.
Okay, no,
Sorry.
it's a better word is Adderall.
For Donald,
yeah, I was like better word is Adderall.
for Donald Trump,
but,
it's like some type of like European Sudafed type of thing that he does.
But do the other one first is
No, so Parler is
It's number one
now.
on the App Store. It is apparently being
Yeah.
taken off of the Google
App
App
Store,
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 but
but
which is the
still-
number one app store.
Yeah.
But it's still on the
Apple.
No, because the Apple App Store is big too, and so it's not.
It's
gone
on Apple
there.
App Store though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, maybe they want to. They better be monitoring it. I hope.
really
There's
hope
also
so.
it's a website.
I mean, I'm sure the FBI is. You know what I mean? Like,
But
I'm
they
sure
weren't
that they're
there.
not dumb.
They weren't there this time.
Oof, it's just scary, but that's what scares me.
Because
is
that's what I
that
was saying. Like,
when you push them underground, then you don't know what they're doing.
well,
Because they're stupid enough to give you all of their plans.
well, here's the difference is that why I think the consequences are important. What goes along with this is that a lot of the people who are being caught are super legit in life. Actually, have you guys seen
It's
this?
like CEOs.
See it like, and they're getting caught now, and they are just spilling their guts.
Like, this is the worst
Turning
thing I've ever
court.
done in my life.
They're just like, yeah. So like that's why I think the consequences are super important, and the banning of the normal, because you have so many followers that are not about it.
Right,
They are not about it at all.
right.
They are just flag flyers. They get drawn into something, whatever. And if you
Just follow the
if you
crowd
just
and
say
ended
you're
up
gonna
in the
slap
fucking
them on the
Capitol.
wrist, if you just say you're gonna slap them on the wrist, they'll literally cry. Grown men crying just at the idea of a threat. So that's why I think the consequences are important, and that's why I think it's important to push them underground, because it is much harder to organize underground then. Yes, you're right. They're going to be way more serious, but they won't be tens of thousands now. You won't be. I don't know what that picture was. It looked like fucking 100,000 people. It was just crazy, but you had tens of thousands of people possibly. So like, I would want that number less, and even underground, you will get monitored. Like, we're out here stopping all kinds of shit. This was just that he wanted this to happen. That's why it happened. Tell us what you think. You were saying, I want to hear what anyone thinks about this, because I'm just interested. You could be.
I don't know. That's...
Also, happy birthday, Roy.
Woo! Happy birthday!